folks, good morning to you. As we've said before, International Academy of Flint, 2820 South Saginaw, the gateway to learning and educational opportunity on the south side of the city of Flint. We are so glad to come to you today, and we've got some great news. We're going to talk about that in a little minute. You may have seen the Flint Journal this week.
I saw that.
If you did, ooh, good news. Okay.
Nice, Art.
So
Nice.
hang on there. Jesse, are we on TV yet, Paul?
Not
quite.
And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
come on
4,
over.
3, 2,
We're
1.
going to have Jesse come on in. Jesse is our TV technician. Jesse, during the time that we've been on, we've had literally thousands and thousands of requests to find out what you look like. I get dozens of calls by the minute from audience who wants to know what you look like.
The guy behind the equipment, yes.
Jesse Odishu works, of course, for WFLT as their, I'm calling you radio technician. Is that the right term?
Announcer.
Announcer and technician does all that. He's got 60 skillion discs or CDs of all beautiful musical artists and such. Just say hi to the audience officially now in a capacity of being on our program, please.
Well, hello, everybody. How are you?
Very clever opening. All right. Jess, how many discs and stuff do you choose from over here on my left?
Well, I
And
don't
behind
know.
us, Paul, could you get a scene of what's going on behind us here?
There's a lot of CDs,
Okay. Now I'm looking
recurrence.
at a guest, wave guest. You're on TV. Okay.
She's running away.
One of our secret guests just hit the road. Okay.
But it's hard to count how many, but it's a lot. And the quartet is done by Anna Johnson, radio lady on Mondays.
Okay.
And then there's myself, Candace, Brother John.
Candace. Sure, no Candace. Yeah.
Brother John's on Sunday mornings, and I follow him. And Joy Boy, Elwood, Haygood.
What kind of
follows
training
him.
did you get to do that? And I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh,
sir,
no,
but
it's
tell us
okay.
quickly about
Well,
your training.
back in 2005, I was here for 3 months, and
Well, how'd you get here? You
Well-
applied? Is that what happened?
yeah.
Okay.
And Sammy heard that I'm a wedding DJ and everything, so
Oh.
he says, let me hire this guy. Took me 3 months to learn what everything did.
I bet you.
And then I left in 2005 to work at Kroger. And I think 2011, Sammy called me back and says, got a job? Nope. Want a job? Yep. Come on in.
Didn't have to rehearse that speech, did you?
No, and you never lose the experience that you learned here. You know.
And there might be some young folks listen. Certainly from our school, we have a few I know that listen. What would you suggest to a young man or young lady who'd like to get in this industry? Can you offer a thought or two, Jess?
Well, a lot of training goes.
How do they get it?
Well, you'd have to apply.
Okay, here?
And-
for
yeah,
example? Could
and-
we do an internship here sometime, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Sammy Jordan, are you listening, buddy? Are you
hope
listening?
so.
I hope you are, because if you are, we might talk to you about an internship with one of our young people that might have an interest in broadcasting and communications.
Yeah,
Which,
it's-
there's degrees in communications, of course, from great schools. Northwestern pops immediately.
And
in mind.
to be honest, Art, I was never radio trained until Sammy trained me on all this equipment.
Sammy trained you?
Yeah.
He can do something.
Alice D.
I'm off the air. Sammy's my buddy. Okay.
Well, Alice D. actually is my mentor. She showed me everything and what does
Tell
what.
us what's amazing about Alice D. training you. I can't believe the woman.
And she reads the disc by Braille,
Braille.
and then she knows by sound who the artist is,
that's
and knows
unbelievable.
every button.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've
she's
seen her.
phenomenal.
Sometime occasion, I would come into the station to see Sammy or somebody, and I would kind of sneak in and just stand very quietly and watch her do all of this stuff, and I stand in awe of what the woman can do. You know?
Oh yeah, and she knows where everything is—the
indeed.
doorway, everything. Her closet's full of music.
Yeah,
And I thought I had music. She's got me beat.
And then I'll say, Sister Alice. Art! I can't get by with anything. All right, Jess, we got a program to do, but
All right.
thanks to you.
Thank you,
so
sir.
we're going to kind of move you out if you don't mind.
Okay.
But audience, there goes the mighty Jesse.
Yay!
Thanks, big guy.
Now, Alice D. Volunteered to drive the lead car in the Juneteenth parade.
I don't know what to say. I hope it was a short trip.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be.
Mr. Ennis, come on over. Whoops, I just told you who it was. Sherry, goodbye. Sherry Houston is leaving right now. She's employed by Ennis Center. I know I'm embarrassing you, young lady, but it's so good to have you here.
Thank you
And she squeals. I loved it. She says, Bob Ennis, I'm probably going to shake my
I think she was just making sure he didn't run away.
We are so honored to have you here, sir. I know I did a little just ran some copies of some things. An audience here he's in My City magazine, published in Flint. Outstanding. He was one of the feature articles in there. September, I think it was September issue, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, handsome young man. Who posed for this?
Wasn't me.
Wasn't him.
No.
Okay. What a great program you have, sir. Well, listen. After a substantial number of years in this business, tell them what it is and a little bit about the Ennis Center, because you are known in at least 4 counties. We know that. So tell us just, however, you just take the mic and go, sir. Tell us anything you'd like to about the program, your goals. Your mission statement is fantastic, by the way, and maybe some eventual plans you might have as well, sir. So the mic is yours. I'm just going to listen.
Well, first, thank you,
Of
International
course,
School,
of course.
for allowing us to come on today. Yeah, Ennis has been around for a little while. We're working here in 36 years.
Absolutely.
We have offices in 4 counties, actually 5 offices.
Well, tell them where it's at. I think that's important,
Okay,
if you don't mind.
we have
sir.
office at downtown Flint, right at 3rd and Harrison, right across from the MTA. We have one in Pontiac, right on Telegraph, just past 59, or Huron Street down there.
Right.
We have one in Detroit on Greenfield. There, we also have another office in Detroit in Don Bosco. Hall, which is another partner agency. We do a lot of partnering around. And again, in Port Huron, right downtown.
Okay.
Port Huron.
And something's coming new. You're kind of opening one in.
We're working on opening one in Vassar as well. We've been asked a lot to do work in Saginaw County, and Vassar kind of bridges between the two, because we'd like to be able to get to our foster care programming to our staff within a half hour to 45 minutes, because we're available 24/7.
Now, folks, I know we have some foster children perhaps listening, certainly some foster parents. I'm almost positive of that. So if you have questions of Mr. Ennis, you can come on and call in. I give the number frequently, 239-5733, 239-5733. If you have a foster child, a related question, or, most importantly, if you'd like to become a foster parent, now might be the time to call in. Bob, we can't interview you on the phone, on the radio, but at least we could get a number and exchange, and maybe you could follow up if that's appropriate.
Oh, it's certainly appropriate. In
Okay,
Flint, they can
good,
call us
good,
at
good.
810-233-4031, or check out our website at inniscenter.org, or our Facebook
All right,
page.
now you've heard it once. I know you didn't quite get it, so we're going to have you, Bob, repeat it in about a minute and a half. So if you need to get a phone or a what's that thing you write with? Pen and pencil. Duh. Okay. you go ahead and get it, and then Bob will repeat it for you if you have that kind of interest. Wow, that's great.
In terms of what we do, we're the second or third largest special needs adoption agency in the state. What that means when we say special needs, that means that kids have come into the foster care system, and our goal first is to get them to go home. If we can't get them home, it's to get them with a relative. If we can't get them there, we recommend to the court the rights to be terminated, and we adopt. We're also the 3rd largest adoption agency for special needs children in the state of Michigan, and no one knows it. That Sherry that you were just hiding off camera.
I've heard of her.
We hired her to help brand us to be able to get more foster homes, particularly, and adoptive homes, particularly for adolescents and for sibling groups. We like to keep families together. We're also receiving what I consider a rash of younger children coming into care, 2 and under. So we also have young children. But for those who want to adopt, we're going to do domestic adoption, which means the fee adoptions. We'll talk about that another day. We've never done them, but we're going to do them. And that when we started this work, remember, first go home in foster care. We recommended to the court less than a quarter of the time to terminate rights, which means the kid then becomes available for adoption.
Right.
Now we're recommending it 50% of the time. That's the bad news. What that means is the kids and families that we and other systems agencies worked with, we didn't do our job over those last 35 or 36 years well enough. The good news is 85% of adoptions for special needs children are done with foster parents. So at least we're getting the kids permanent, because that's one of our mission pieces. If we can't get them home, we can't get them with a relative, then we want to get them permanent and adopted when possible. So, we have a variety of other programs, independent living programs. We have a partnership with the University of Michigan Flint. With any kid in the foster care system, we will coach if he's over 14 or she is, all the way through school, helping them get to school, helping them with their grades, and we'll get them scholarships and we'll get it paid for them to go to school. Because we know from all the studies that youngsters who can't read, that's why international is so important.
Thank you kindly.
At the third grade level, the studies from the U.S. government end up cradle to prison, they call it.
Yeah.
You have to be able to at least read in our society to function. And the other myth that I'd like to destroy while I'm here, if I may, is that this is all a African American issue.
Oh, no.
That is not true. Abuse and neglect has no color to it.
There's no barrier. Yeah.
And since we've lost, General Motors not lost it, but reduced it, and that's coming back, and that's great. We now have, for the first time in 35 years in Flint, a percent more, 51%, white families to 49% black families. Because we know that drugs, being poor, not having a job, domestic violence, is going to lead you without intervention into trouble in your home.
Yeah, no question about that. Yeah. Now, folks, I know we left more than a minute and a half go by, but now you've had time to get a pen or pencil. If you want to call into the station, 239-5733, if you have a question to Bob Ennis about that, the entire program adoption and everything that encompasses that. And you might also address how you work with DHS. But let's give you the number. Bob, go ahead and give the number again. Here it comes, folks. Get ready.
Our number in Flint is 810-233-4031. Our website is www.enniscenter.org. Or you can also go to our Facebook page and get more information about us as well.
Okay, very good. All right. You may know their location in Flint, right across from the MTA terminal on Harrison, and easy access. And I looked at some of the pictures in this article of your facility, the rooms for the children, and some of your staff that work there, and very, very impressive. Nice job, of course.
Well, we love it, and we're pleased to announce that we just received a grant from the Ronald McDonald Foundation to redo our visit rooms, 3 of them, what we call supervised visits. Now, what is supervised visit? A supervised visit is many of the families we get coming in, quite frankly, aren't ready to be able to see their children or visit their children alone. It has to be monitored. So that the visiting rooms become more than just a visit. They become a teaching room, a classroom,
Well,
if you will.
that's what I saw on below on the MLive stuff, or on this magazine article. I saw what those rooms look like. They're like classrooms.
Right.
They really are.
They almost, we want them to be certainly friendly and a good atmosphere to interact while we observe and teach parents how to be parents. Because remember, some of those parents didn't get parented very well either.
Right.
And so therefore the cycle kind of goes on until we attempt to break it. You asked earlier about DHS. Protective Services through DHS, when a problem comes up of allowed abuse, neglect, go out and does an intervention. And if they feel the child or children are in danger, they then recommend to the court to take that child or children to the court to say, we think they need to go into foster care. The court determines whether they come in, and they become what's called temporary court wards, which means the parents don't have rights, and the court has rights. And then we develop plans with the family, with us, kind of like job assignments.
Yeah, kind of like IEP too.
Like individual plans for
Yeah,
each
right.
family, and each of them is different, but it's somewhat standardized in terms of what we have to report. And then we report that to the court and the DHS every 3 months, and do an initial one within 30 days, so that we know what the visits are going to be like. We know if it's a drug problem, that's going to be partnered and treated somewhere else. If it's therapy needed, we're going to deal with now GHS, which used to be Community Mental Health. We're going to deal with the schools. Unfortunately, we have some kids at your school as well. And,
We know that, yes, sir.
And that's great, because you know, the other schools, and it's not at all a rock at them, but they've been, town is shrinking and money's been very, very tight. And so their resources have been reduced, and I applaud them. They do a yeoman's job, but you got to have some money to do some things.
Agreed. I thought if you don't mind repeating your mission statement, that caught my eye immediately. You probably know it by heart, but
Well, yeah. The basically what our mission statement is what I'm saying to you earlier, is that first goal is to go home, try to get that family stabilized. The second goal is, if we can't, we try to create a family to have these children permanent. We can say it in the fancier words, but basically that's what it boils down to.
And I'm going to give you that little fancy phrase, if I may. Our mission: with the support of the community, we preserve families when possible and create new families when necessary. Yeah, I think that really succinctly says what you folks are all about, which a mission statement should be. So I congratulate you on that. Very good. Now, if we could, let's move into the area of need. Now, we've got an audience out here of probably hundreds of millions of people are listening at this very moment. But anyway, share with them some things you'd like to see to further develop the Ennis program, further develop the foster care program, the relationship between you and DHS and adoption, all that encompasses what you do, sir.
Well, let me start with DHS. Our relationship with DHS, I'm pleased to say, in this county is excellent. We're truly partners. We're not viewed as bad guys, so to speak, or they're not viewed as, we know we have to be a team.
I knew that going in, I knew that was safe ground.
That's safe ground. The problems that we have is not enough resources, and the resources are in several areas. I'm calling potential foster parents and foster parents resources. They're teachers as well. We got into this business also to avert youth going into residential care where they live in an institution. We want to keep them in the community because they're going to come back to the community. So without hopefully being offensive to foster parents, there are bricks and mortar. There are school building in their house, so to speak. We need them, as I mentioned earlier, for all children, but particularly for teenagers and particularly for SIV groups. We also need volunteers to help us. We need grandparents who might give a foster parent some respite that we could license. We always, like every other agency, need cash as resources and donations, i.e., we just got a grant also from Ruth Mott for $95,000. And what we're doing with that is to educate our kids and teach our kids through art, local artists, and partner with the FIA, for the Institute of Art, and FIM, because these youth and their families don't even know what the Culture Center is, some of them.
I understand.
So if we expose them, we feel they're going to learn, and there's a difference between experiencing something, but you can't experience it until you're exposed to it. So if we can expose them to the international school, if we can expose them to FIA, if we can expose them to some of the work that folk are here doing, that I think Jesse was doing.
Yeah, right.
We're going to do with Bangtown, where they're going to create discs about their lives and et cetera, and get some hands-on. We hired an art therapist from Wayne State, just hired her to work with our families.
Full-time? Right?
Full-time.
Oh, my goodness.
Through that grant, exactly. Because we want to get these youth out of the system and break the cycle, and we cannot do it without partners and without people helping us to do so, because it does take the village. Ennis can't do it by itself.
No, nor can a school.
No,
We're
exactly
all
right.
united in the village. The concept is so apropos for what you do and what we do as well, sir. Very good. Now, if, let's say we have a grandparent or a listener that might want to actually become a foster parent, what's their ABC steps to do what's about?
ABC steps, you have to be at least 21. You do not have to be married. You go through rigorous, and I'm going to underline this, rigorous background checks. These kids have already been abused. We're going to make sure that there's no criminal record, no this, no that. Then comes the part that's crucial, training. We train and retrain.
On-site at
On-site at
Ennis?
Ennis, in terms of what it takes to deal with an angry child, what it takes to de-escalate a person. And we also train, remember, first goals go home. How you deal with separation attachment issues. How do you let a child go home when in fact you love that child and feel that child be better off with you?
There's some tears there.
Oh, it's a very, very difficult job. In addition to that training, it takes about 3 months to get the training completed and get a full license. We recommend in the state a license for whatever age groups you need. And then we add 32 hours of training more per year and we utilize parents, also our seasoned foster parents, as support groups to train other folks. We're available 24/7. If you call us, there's someone on call all the time to be able to react to a problem or a crisis that may arise.
Yeah, the best instructors are those that are doing it and doing it well. And they
They're
have
part of the village as well.
Indeed, they are. Wow, that's great. Maybe this is an unusual question. I'm not sure. I know you've had in 35 years of exposure. Can you give us, has anybody gone through the program that has received sort of publicized acclaim as they have matured and gone into adulthood, that they've done very well in a particular field, engineering, entertainment, whatever might trigger your mind, sir?
Well, I don't know about entertainment. Most of our kids are pretty entertaining. But no one that I'm aware of that's made national acclaim. We have kids, however, who graduated in every kind of thing, from the Air Force Academy.
That's significant.
Well, very significant.
Whoa.
From other academies, we have kids working for us now with adults who work for DHS as supervisors and
Right,
social work.
right.
We're bringing kids
What
over
a great,
to refer to us.
Oh, what a great message that is.
And if you check our website also, you'll see a young woman. I'm getting a little bit old, or I am old. But we have a youngster who's 50, who was our first foster kid that's on our website, who came all the way from Alabama to thank us for saving
That
her
is
life
so
and her
neat.
siblings'
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
And so we have some athletes, but no one that's made it that I'm aware of. They've made it, but not made it
Yeah.
to
Well, they've got, some have maybe played at the collegiate level.
at the collegiate
Yeah.
level.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
but
They
some
got an education.
That's right. That's right.
What a gift that is.
That's right. And education, again, is so crucial. And why I really push these kids that are in 14, whether they go home or adopted, to go to college, and we prepare them in our program for what we call independent living, even if they're going home, job interview skills. You know, the importance of school, the importance of taking care of yourself. That is so crucial, whether you go home, whether you're adopted, or whether you have to make it on your own.
Yeah, I can identify a little bit because we now have a staff person or two that graduated from our high school, went on to college, is now coming back and instructing.
Doesn't that feel
So I
good?
can identify
Doesn't that feel good?
partner.
That feels
'Cause,
good.
Yeah, our first graduating
Yeah.
class probably occurred in 2002, I would think, somewhere there. So they've gone through the college. And that's a great feeling. It just is to see. Hey, my baby's back. Well, ain't no baby no more.
There's another partnership that is really, really crucial. I didn't bring a flyer to give you. That we've partnered now with the UAW. And the UAW is, you'll see some billboards go up shortly that they're paying for.
That's a good part.
That's a great, oh, yeah.
Talk about a partner.
It's a great partner. They've helped us organize 52 ministers in this city to work with the issue of mental health, because mental health is an issue. You don't go around abusing or hurting people unless there's something going on with you as it relates to mental health. So they're partnered with us, and we're very appreciative of that as well.
Okay. In a specific location or just the organization? They've done
The UAW?
Yeah.
It's Region 1C.
Oh, sure, on Lippin,
Okay.
on Van
Oh,
Slyke
on
and
Atherton,
Atherton.
right.
Sure,
5
you know
minutes,
that.
sir.
We have 5 minutes. We just had our high school guest arrive. Prentice, how are you? Bob, I'm going to put him on because I know his mother's listening. I got to do this.
Oh,
And
of
he's all
course.
dressed up, looking just like a $2 bill on a plate worth $1.
Yeah, Bob,
So,
it's
Prentice, come on. Rod, I'm going to publicly shake your
Thank
hand.
you.
Thank you. You do a marvelous job for
a
children.
gift for you.
Thank you.
It's the
Oh,
art
that's
thing.
great.
It was
Thank
the
you
art
very
thing we
much.
did before we even did got the grant from Ruth.
Yeah, listen, if any of your artists want to do some murals, I've got a South Saginaw Street location here, meaning up and down Saginaw, that maybe we could work something
Oh,
out.
I hope so. We
we-
want
we-
to
if they'd
expose
like
the
to do
kids'
that.
art everywhere we can.
Their
Okay.
art would be exposed to everybody that drives
Super.
up and down Saginaw. Let's
Thank you.
chat about that if it works.
Okay,
that way.
welcome for this.
Okay. Hi, Paul.
4
Harry.
minutes, sorry.
Hey,
Prentice Deloney. Hey, Mom, how you doing? We got him here. The driver came through. Prentice, we're going to talk real quickly. We got about 3 minutes right now. We'll probably have to have you on again. Can you ask what direction you went in? Was there any issue related to? Okay, Miss GPS here didn't quite GPS you, did she? Okay. Well, anyway, that's okay. Prentice, where do you go to school? I've never seen you before in my life.
International Academy of
Oh, maybe I did see you then, I guess. Okay, and here, let's get the audience so they're aware of what you... I took you home not too long ago. We were both volunteering over at Davenport University. and I took you home that afternoon about 2 o'clock or so, and here you get a phone call, and you're talking to a publishing company. Tell us quickly about that, and maybe we could have you on again to read some of your work, unless you got a real quick something to read. But tell us about that phone call and why publishing companies are calling you.
The reason why publishing
Sit still.
The reason why publishing companies is calling me because since I was 12, I was interested in writing books, and so when I turned 15, I started writing more, and now I've been turning in my work manuscripts to publishing companies, and now they've been calling me, asking can they publish my work.
Yeah, that's astounding. Now, tell the audience, I know that perked up the audience immediately. What are your subjects that you're writing on? And this astounded me. Go ahead.
It's self-help, like motivational writing.
How did you get into that area of interest? What triggered?
Why
did you do in that one?
I like listening to speeches and stuff, like on YouTube, and I go on YouTube and listen to inspirational speakers, and that's what gave my interest.
Okay. And I know you want to become an author, which I'm very impressed. In fact, we have a young man here from Paul Herring's son from Michigan State University. So you're in a college atmosphere, even in this very room. And of course, we just had Bob Ennis on. He's got all kind of degrees, and he works with highly professional staff. We got 2 minutes. Jesse, I'm ignoring you. I'm just totally ignoring you. I got to do something here real soon. It's so sorry that you got here so late, but you do have some work that you brought with you. Okay, well, we're not going to be able to read it. I'm sorry. Okay, but I promise you, Miss Deloney, we're going to put him on again, if that's okay with you. Why don't you say hi to Mom?
Hi, Mom.
Oh, that was good. Well, he rehearsed that one for hours. Okay, Miss Deloney, thank you for allowing us to have him on the program. It's so quick. I'm sorry about that. We'll spend more time with him because I know the audience wants to hear some of the things you've written. And Miss Nichols, our student life coordinator, was very impressed with some of the things you've done. I mentioned this conversation to her, and she said, oh, yeah, he writes great. He writes great. She repeated it twice. So we're going to have you on again so you can read this stuff to us, okay? Very impressed. And I want you to become an author, okay? And I want you to meet the Ennis family people here. We have Miss Houston with us and Bob Ennis as well. Oh, he's waving at me again, folks. We're going to have to get off the air.
Get the stick.
Bob Ennis, come on over. We're going to have you holler. Sherry, can you come in and give us that soprano
Make
voice?
it short, Art.
Make it short. I can't do anything short here. Okay. Hi, everybody. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Thanks for being with us today. We're off and going. Remember, if you are reading a blog, walking in a fog, or feeding your dog, or are you worrying while whistling and wondering who wiggled while working with weak-kneed, weary, wandering weasels, willfully walking wickedly without wallowing with wildebeest with widespread withering warts in Waukesha, Wisconsin, Westminster, or Ouachita, then look at somebody and say, ooh, that is some kind